Hi everybody, and welcome to our week number 2 Twitch live stream for my online intro psych summer class. Hope everyone is doing well. It's Wednesday, June 4th, and I see a bunch of you getting logged in, putting your names in the chat. Can someone let me know in the chat if you can hear and see me okay? You can just give me like a thumbs up or a yes or anything like that. But let me know if everything is coming through. All right, it all looks good on my end, but just to double check. Awesome. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Great. Okay. Good to know. So we are officially in week number 2, and this live stream should be quite a bit shorter than the last one where we were going over everything and the syllabus and all that kind of stuff. What I want to do is give you a little bit of feedback from last week, just kind of some things that I saw with the exam and the discussions, and then we'll go over the things that we have due this week. I'll give you the Twitch extra credit question and then see if you have any questions for me. So that's kind of the plan for today. So let's head over to Canvas together. And if at any point during this you have any questions for me, please feel free to put them in the chat. I am monitoring it on my phone. And so if you put anything in there, I will be sure to answer it. But we are here. So week number 1 is in the books. We are right here, week number 2. And so a couple of comments about last week before we move into this week. So from my end, it looked like a lot of you clearly understood the expectations, did really well on the exam. I saw a lot of really good things. So what I saw in general on the 2 discussions were the vast majority of you got like 13, 14, or 15 points. Or a lot of people who got like close to perfect or perfect scores. Those of you who missed points, typically I wanted a little bit more. So if you got a piece of feedback, for example, on discussion 1 of like, be sure to elaborate a little bit more in your responses, try to do that this week. Give me a little bit more. Think about them again like more like little mini papers if that helps you. But last week on this discussion 1, and the biggest place that I saw people miss points was on this last bullet. Some of you forgot to define nature and nurture, or were a little bit off in your definitions, or didn't respond to the quote. Other than that, again, most of you did a really beautiful job. Don't forget to also reply to a classmate. I know it's only worth 2 points, but those 2 points will add up, and you would hate to miss them. Oh, look, a cat, right? Whenever they come by, I will grab them. This is Noodle. This is my youngest cat. He's not my friendliest, but he is my youngest. So, aw, Noodle. My kids named him after Noodle in Wonka. Anyway, whenever they come close, I will grab them. But as I was saying, don't forget to respond to a classmate. Even though it's only worth 2 points, you want to make sure you are getting those. They're kind of an easy 2 points to get. As far as discussion number 2 goes, a lot of you did a beautiful job, right? Cats are the best, right? I have 5 cats, so they're definitely like looming around. With discussion number 2, again, a lot of you did a beautiful job. Where people tended to lose points here was on number 2, right? And so I really wanted you to mention something with electrochemical communication, that there's these 2 processes involved. If you didn't kind of go into both pieces, you lost a couple of points. Most of you, again, did a really, really beautiful job overall. But if you lost a few points, be sure to give me a little bit more this week. Don't forget to also reply to a classmate. Though, as I mentioned, a lot of you really, really nicely done. As far as exam number 1 goes, again, I saw a lot of wonderful things. And I wrote this down earlier for myself. The average amount of time taken was 59 minutes. The average score was an 88%. So what that tells me is a lot of you were really prepared. You did really well on the exam. The average was just shy of an A. There was a couple of like lower scores, and there were quite a few 100% as well. So if you didn't do as well as you would like last week, use it as a learning opportunity. Right? I would encourage you then to maybe study a little bit more. If you didn't complete the study guide, be sure to do that this week, and hopefully that will help you get a little bit better. Do the optional extra credit that I'm going to give you in a few minutes here. That will also help make up a couple of points if you lost some points. But again, a lot of you, great job. And a lot of people did the extra credit last week. So again, from my end, I saw a lot of really, really good things. With that said, we move on to week number 2. And typically, what you can expect is I will grade everything on Monday, and then I'll send out like an email with some general feedback. It might be a little bit off next week. Forgive me. I am going on a cruise on Monday for 4 days. So it's Monday through Friday. I plan to eat way too much food. And so I will do my best to get to grading our stuff. But if the internet is really poor on the ship, it might take me a little bit longer. So forgive me for that. But this week we start week number 2. We cover the topic of consciousness, learning, memory, and cognition. So just like last week, we have 4 chapters. And just like last week, with each chapter, you want to do 3 things, right? You're going to read the chapter in the ebook, read through the lecture, and watch the lecture video. And between those 3 things, that should really, help you to understand the content and the materials. So make sure you do that for chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8. There are 2 discussions this week, just like always. And so let's take a look at those together. Discussion number 3. As always, you're going to have my instructions up here at the top, followed by a video. Remember that these are worth 15 points. 13 for your responses to my questions, and then 2 for your responses to up here. And as I mentioned a moment ago, if you lost some points last week, try and give me a little bit more this week, and hopefully that will get you closer to full credit or full points. But this one is about dreams and sleep, a really interesting topic that we still don't know a lot about. So you're going to watch my little video up here. I give you some tips and suggestions for how to remember your dreams. You're also going to read a short dream article. Now, this article goes over some of the most common theories as to why we dream and what dreams mean. And so you're going to read this along with obviously the textbook like normal. And then your 2 questions to answer, you're going to select a dream that you had recently and try and pick something that you still remember with a little bit of detail. Also something you don't mind sharing, right? So if it's really inappropriate or if it's about me for some reason, right? Like pick another one. I learned to say that a long time ago, right? If you had a dream where you murdered me, like wait for another one. But you're going to briefly describe your dream. And then what I want you to do is explain your dream from a minimum of 2 different dream theories that were discussed in the article and or the textbook, right? So anything that you want to share, you don't have to go into great detail, but kind of give me a brief overview of your dream. And then what do you think it means from 2 different theories? And I put this here, note, when you are describing your dream and what you think it means, make sure that you also describe the theory that you chose. That shows me that you understand it, that you can explain it. That tends to be a place where people sometimes lose points. So make sure that you really describe the dream theory in addition to the dream. You're also then going to describe, why do you think we dream personally? Why do you personally think that we dream? And it can be a mix, right? Sometimes dreams feel really random. Other times they feel really symbolic and meaningful. And so why do you think we dream? You're excited about this one because you had some interesting dreams. Great, right? I love that. Dreams are so fascinating. I love dream interpretation. I tend to think dreams can be really, really meaningful and then sometimes just totally random. I tend to have a lot of like dreams as an extension of waking life. Like I'll fall asleep watching a show and then I dream about the show. Oftentimes cooking shows, either that or I'm just dreaming about food. But why do you think we dream? And then describe 2 dreams and where they come from. The other one that you're going to do, discussion number 4, is related to, let's pull this up here, is related to memory, right? And so again, you have my instructions followed by my video. You'll need to watch the video for this one because I'm going to be giving you a 28-digit sequence of letters and numbers. And if you were taking this class with me in person, you would memorize it. Luckily for you, you just have to write about how you would memorize it. But once you watch my video, then what you're going to do is answer these 3 questions. Number 1, if you needed to retain that 28-digit sequence and you had no way of writing it down, how would you hold on to it? For a matter of seconds? And what if you needed to hold on to it for several days? And as I put here, hint, they should be different methods. Okay, so how you hold on to it for seconds versus days should be different. Make sure you describe what you would do, right? So if you're going to come up with a story, what's the story? A rhyme, what's the rhyme? If you're going to chunk it, how, right? Like, so make sure you really describe to me not only how you would do it, but specifically like show me and describe to me what you would do. The second question, excuse me. The second question, you're going to describe in detail what are 2 strategies that you could use to help you study and remember information for an exam? And then number 3, do you have any personal tips for memory that you would like to share? What strategies do you tend to use in your personal life to help you remember important information? So a couple of questions here. Again, make sure you watch the video to get that sequence. Those are your 2 main tasks for this week, right? You have all of your chapters to read, and then you have your 2 discussions followed by an exam and a little self-assessment. So let's talk about those from here. Exam number 2, same style and format and everything as exam number 1. And you also have a study guide. So if you click on the study guide, and I really hope you used this for exam number 1. If you didn't, I would definitely recommend using it. This exam is on chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8. Basically everything that we are covering this week. The exams aren't cumulative, so it's just these topics. And if you remember from last week, if it's on the study guide, it will be on the exam. If it's not on the study guide, you don't need to worry about it. So any terms that are on here, definitely make sure you know them. As I suggested last week, if it were me, I would probably type all these words out and I would have it in front of me. That way I'm not trying to reference the book or the lecture and I'm searching for information and using up valuable time. So totally up to you, but I would definitely recommend that. Just like last week, the exam is on the ebook site, right? So if you click here on exam 2, it will remind you to go to the ebook site. Same instructions, same amount of time. So make sure that you're ready and organized before you begin. And what I mean by that, again, like last week, is that you have 75 minutes to spare, you have good internet, you have a quiet place to take the exam. Try not to wait till Sunday night to take it. That's inevitably when things seem to go wrong, right? Whether it's the internet or the power or whatnot. Also make sure that you've studied and prepared. Maybe you have that study guide done and in front of you. But all of those things are really going to help set you up for success. And again, a lot of you did a beautiful job on exam number 1. So if you did, do the same stuff and hopefully you'll be in good shape. And if you wish you had done better, maybe prepare a little bit differently for this one and see how it goes. Okay, so exam number 2, again, make sure you save everything. Just like the last exam, remember that your score does not automatically come over into Canvas. So once you complete the exam, you'll get a score in the gradebook on the ebook site instantly, and I will be bringing those over hopefully on Monday. Okay, so the other little thing that you do have this week, I've given you a couple of these little self-assessments, and they're worth 5 points, and please be honest. My goal with this is just to kind of give you an opportunity to reflect on your progress so far. Your progress, your grades, and your approach to the class. So it's 5 little questions. You have as much time as you need. It's worth 5 points, so please be honest. Don't tell me what you think I want to hear. This is for you, right? So what I want you to think about is, are you happy with what you're doing? Is there anything you want to change? So make sure you do complete that, as it is worth 5 points of credit. Okay, so those are your big tasks for this week. You have 4 chapters, 2 discussions, your exam, and then that little short self-assessment. I will be posting a recording of this probably tomorrow or later tonight, depending on how long it takes to upload and download. So the recording of this will be posted. What I'm going to do from here is I'll see if any of you have any questions for me. I have a couple of quick reminders for you, and then I'll give you the extra credit question and show you how to answer it. Okay, so first reminder, and I typed this out earlier, so I'm just going to post it now. If you haven't already figured out the Twitch subscription process, please try to do that. There aren't very many of you who've done it, and what that means is I have to go through and match your name and Twitch ID, and it takes a lot of time. So if you have the opportunity to do that, I really appreciate it. If you're watching this later as a recording, that is also the only way you can still do the extra credit question. So if you have a moment to do that, please do that. I'd really appreciate it. It's good for 30 days, so it should carry you through most of the class. The other reminder, normally our live streams will be on Wednesday, but since I will be in the middle of the ocean on a cruise ship next week, a Carnival cruise ship, I am going to be doing it on Friday. So let me put this here in the chat. Okay, so our next Twitch live stream will be on Friday, June 13th at 8 o'clock p.m. Friday the 13th, right? Friday the 13th at 8 o'clock. So if you can't make it, that's okay. Again, it will always be recorded. And if you're subscribed, you can still do the extra credit. But it will be on Friday next week. Sorry for the change. I wanted to still make sure I held one for you, but I will be on a vacation. And I do have a couple of those throughout our class, so I will do my best to try and work around them for you. Okay, if you have any questions, this would be a wonderful time to put them in the chat. Otherwise, let me give you the extra credit question and show you how to answer it. I already typed it up. So the extra credit question this week, oops, let me put this in the chat for you. And then I'll show you where you can find the video and where to answer this. This is the week number 2 Twitch extra credit question. And what you're going to be doing is watching a short clip called Attack of the Quack. And I'll show you where to find that here in a second. And then when you're done watching the clip, you'll identify the US, URCS, and CR. So you're not describing them, just identifying them. So if you go back to Canvas and you go all the way to the learning lecture, okay, so the lecture on chapter 6 or learning, you can find this video on the very last page where it says application. Okay, so click application and then scroll down and you'll find it. It's right here. It's only a minute and a half long. It's this little boy brushing his teeth, but it's a little prank related to classical conditioning. So you'll watch this clip and then you'll go to week number 2 and you'll click on optional Twitch extra credit number 2 way down here at the bottom. And then you can click on start assignment up at the top and type your response here in the box and go ahead and hit submit. You'll get your little confetti burst and rocket ships, why not? But remember, these are worth 5 points. So the way that you get those 5 points is you're either joining me live right now, or if you're subscribed, you can be watching this as a recording. That's totally fine. And then you're going to answer the question on here, which I will grade throughout the week. And as I mentioned, a lot of you did this last week, which is fantastic. And you're welcome to do them all the way through. Those points will definitely help if you find that you missed a few points somewhere on an exam, on a discussion, or whatnot. Okay, so those are your tasks for this week. And as I mentioned, kind of short and sweet, we're at about 20 minutes. So what I will do is I will hang out for the next 7 minutes or so, 8 minutes. I'll hang out for a little while and see if there's any questions. If you have anything, please feel free to put it in the chat. If not, you're welcome to go and get going on the week. See if you can figure out the subscription thing if you haven't already. But otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Yeah, my birthday's on Friday, right? So I'm very excited because I get a cake and then I get to go on a cruise Monday. So very exciting for my birthday. And oh, there's another cat. Oh, I have another cat right here, but then he went and took off on me. But thank you so much. So anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful night, a wonderful week. I will hang out for a little bit. If you do have any questions for me, oh, thank you for the birthday wishes and the happy cruise wishes. I'll tell you what, I'm super considerate. I will eat a piece of cake on the cruise for each one of you. That's how generous I am. 1, they're small pieces, and 2, I love cake. So I'm pretty confident that in my cruise I can manage to eat at least a bite of cake for all 40 of you. I think I can handle that. So I will do my best. But I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to close my video, but I will hang out for a few minutes if you do have any questions. Cruise buffets are always dangerous. I agree so much, right? Mine is, my favorite is Guy's Burgers, which I'm very excited to have for lunch. And then the buffets we usually do for breakfast. 2 bites for you. I will give it my best, Mario. I definitely will give it a shot. I'm a good cake eater. I think I could put down a decent amount in 4 days, that's for sure. Thank you all so much. You're all so sweet. Thank you. I hope you all have a wonderful week. And I will still be checking my email. It just might take me a little bit longer to get back to you. So forgive me if I don't get back to you really quickly. Oh, did you just say I'm your favorite teacher? Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much, right? I will eat 3 bites of cake for you. I'm just kidding, but not really. I mean, I still will give it my best, right? But thank you all. I hope you have a wonderful week. And I will hang out for, like I said, for a few more minutes if you do have any questions for me. If not, I can keep talking about cake, but I imagine that's maybe not not the most priority of everything, right? I will. Thank you so much. And I am still here. If any of you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. And I am still here if you think of anything, or of course, email me if you think of something later. That's totally fine. All right, it looks like almost everybody has logged off, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same so that I can start the upload download process. But if you think of any questions, feel free to email me. Thank you all so much for those of you joining me, or if you're watching this later, thank you, thank you. And I will hope to see you all next Friday the 13th at 8 o'clock p.m.